Good evening. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. If you have emergency traffic, the frequency I believe is not in use, so I'll start there. If it is in use, let me know now. All right, it wasn't in use. If you have an emergency traffic, jump in at any time. Call 911 if you have to get an emergency service. If it's not an emergency, don't call anybody. I'd like to skip all those intros. They seem to waste a lot of time. But anyway, if you have any questions about, you can always look me up, K4PEW, in either on YouTube, or you can see it on the video here, what's being displayed. Just put my call, K4PEW, in the search box for, YouTube. And it'll bring up what's called a premiere, and then you'll be able to click on it. It'll say this today's event. We are net number 940 from the east. We'll be starting from the east, but technically next we'll be starting in a minute for people short on time, mobile, or mobile short on time. What's the third one? No signal. No, it's mobile short on time or first time check-ins. That's the third one. That's the announcements. We have the big announcements are, of course, we're doing 4 nets tonight. This one on 146.415. And then we do 144, 240 upper sideband, then on to 6 meters, which is 50.135, and then on to 223.415 on the 220 band. That's on FM. We also don't want you to forget tomorrow night, very important, another 10-meter net. I say another because we have one on Wednesday nights as well. At 7:30 p.m. Sunday night, 28.415. That's 28.415. He moves on to his Michael KM4YRF, and he moves on to 29.415, and then he moves on to 223.415, rounding out most of our cavalcade of nets of all this, which is about 13 or 14 nets a week. I don't remember how many now, I lose track. Is there any other announcements I'm failing to miss? Anything important? I guess not. Well, very good then. We're going to start with people short on time, mobile, or first-time check-ins.
Kilo 4, Victor up.
Hello, Mike. You sound good tonight. Pointing in the right direction, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, enjoying the day. We got to Bledsoe and activated a floater station and put a park, I guess you could say. Had a blast.
Was it a new park, or was it an existing one that was reactivated?
No, it was my first activation.
Oh, okay. Very good. And which one did you go to?
Bledsoe Creek State Park, carried off of Hartsville Pike, between Gouts and Hartsville.
Oh, yeah, I know of it. I've not been there, but I know of it. Yeah, good. It was a good day for you. Nice weather.
Oh, yeah. A little cool, but it wasn't too bad. I wound up with 26. 24. I think it was 24, which ain't too bad on my first time out, so I was tickled.
Oh, yeah, I bet you were. Did you just work one band?
No. Let's see what we do. Start out about 10, 40. And what was it? 15, 12, 15, one of those two. And 20.
Oh, cool. Well, again, that's you never know how good the propagation is going to be, but I mean, that's a good number though, in the 20s.
Oh yeah. I said I was happy, so I had a blast and had a fun day and enjoyed the company.
Sounds great. How many did you have? You and who else?
Well, there was me and I think we had like 6 different radios going.
Oh, wow. You would have thought there'd be a lot more with 6 radios going on in different bands, wouldn't you? You really would.
Yeah. Well, we had people operating all the radios, but get up, sit there and operate one, and maybe get up, walk away from that one, and go sit down on another one, so. But yeah, it was fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you had a good time. Well, very good. Anything else for the net besides that big success there?
Hope you're doing fine. Hope you and your missus are doing fine. And say hello to you and everybody on the net. So everybody's having a good weekend. When we're trying to go to you, Paul. Appreciate it, K4.
Yeah, very good. That's Mike in Hendersonville. Kilo 4 Victor. It's VVA, isn't it? I wrote down VVW. It is VVA, isn't it?
Yes, Victor Alpha.
I have no idea why I wrote down a W. That's funny. That's why it threw me as I started to say it. Anyway, Victor Alpha, that's his call. Kilo 4 Victor Alpha in Hendersonville. Who else is short on time or mobile or first time checking? Very good. Short at least on that portion of it. So we're taking calls from the east at this point. So east, please come now.
Oh, we did east last.
Oh, that's hold on. I'm sure you're right, but I got to verify with my station manager. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just copied what I did last time. That's funny. North. It's my alternate station manager there, Michael. Please come from the north. Please come out. Forget east. You'll be last.
KD4TW1.
Hey, Wes. Sound good? How am I sounding to you?
7 bars. Did you make a change? I just now got on.
No. The only change was I got that antenna up. That tram, and I think we already talked on that one.
Oh yeah, with my HT. Yeah. Last time, Wednesday, you're a little bit stronger than you were on the previous net. So good job.
Yeah. Well, so far so good. Anything else for the net?
Nope, we've got tons of blocks. I've been enjoying it. So soak it up while you got everything's good in Possum Town. KD4TW.
Very good. That's West Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey, India, near Possum Town, undisclosed location. Who else is? He and I talked. He was over in Watertown or south of Watertown, I think it is. I'm working on an HT, and I was able to communicate with him very well. Of course, he was in a high spot over there. Who else is north? No more north?
KD4VW, Carlin up here in Bethpage, Mount Vernon.
Very good. How you doing there, Carlin?
Doing okay. Surprised nobody jumped in there. Usual thing, about 3 or 4 of them up in this direction.
Oh yeah. Well, Frank is north of me, Mark's north of me, and a couple of people in Gallatin are north of me. There's a lot. But everybody can't be here at the same time. We'd be here an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, hope everybody's staying warm out there. I think it's supposed to get down maybe into the 40s tonight. Didn't get that cold this morning, I don't think. I can't remember. But anyway, just jump in here and say hello to you. You're sounding good up here. Got 40 over on you up here at on the radio. You're sounding good. So anyway, I guess I'm through, and I'll turn it back over to you for some more check-ins.
Yeah, very good. It's supposedly 64 right now in Mount Juliet. So it's and this morning was very cool. I don't know how cool it was. I think it was 62, but I'm not positive about that. You said it might get down in the 40s. Is that what they said?
That's the last I heard. But they could be wrong. You can't never tell.
No, but you're right. I think it's going to be cooler. Anyway, that's Carlin. He's in Bethpage, Angeltown, KD4VUW. Who else is north? Or east? Or excuse me, west? Oh, you're now going to identify as west, are you?
Well, you said north. I didn't key up fast enough.
I guess not. You feel any better?
Yeah, I feel better, but a little bit sick at the same time, different way.
And it takes a while. Well, like I say, a week and 10 days, no matter what you do.
Yeah, it's a process, It was just because it was chilly today and I was outside most of the day, but I'm obviously doing better.
Yeah, well, anytime you're sick, it seems like a total waste of time because you waste, a week or 10 days and you can't do anything of any consequence.
Right, and I have to get off. So I had to try to get all the stuff done I didn't get done. So that's probably why I'm sick. Stirring up probably moving all the stuff around, stirring up some of the cat allergies. That's what's going on.
Oh, is that right? You do have cat allergies as well?
Yeah, I got 4 cats and I'm allergic to them, but I've always had them, so I deal with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, man, you need to give it. Too bad you can't give your cat something.
I know. Stop making me allergic.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for the net tonight there, Frank?
Negative. Just wanted to check in. Let you get back to it. KB9RKK.
Very good. That's Frank in Northwest Mount Juliet. Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo. Who else is west? West or north?
KO4OTB.
Hey, I didn't hear you on the other nets earlier tonight there, Joel.
No, I didn't get home until about 7:45, so that's the reason.
Man, you're gonna have to talk to your employer about that.
Well, yeah, she's in there now in the kitchen, I think.
No, that's the station engineer and employer, I guess.
Yeah, I heard yours come in there. I didn't realize. Heck, I thought y'all were starting from the south for some reason, but I forget. I missed Wednesdays usually.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, some people you noticeably, when you see the net, we only had 6 people on each of the DMR D-Star C4 FM nets. You would have been a nice rounded out 7 on a couple of those nets,
Yeah, I mean, which I only have the first 2, which would be DMR and D-Star, and then I have 2-meter FM, of course. But the only other one I have from that, I think it's just 6. I don't have C4 FM or 220. My trunk tracker, big scanner, it runs all the time, so I can hear y'all on that, and I think I can hear y'all. Oh, I think that's it because I have 6, and that's it. So yeah, I don't have 2-meter upper sideband either.
It doesn't decode C4 FM, does it? That scanner?
That's a good question. It's a trunk tracker, so it might.
I don't know. I was just asking. I didn't know if any of them did decode the C4 FM.
Well, it's designed. This radio here, it's a great radio. It probably does 10,000 frequencies. It's insane the stuff it does. But it does not come with a manual. None of them did. And over the years, I've just played with it so much, I've figured a lot of it out. Now there's some software I do believe you can download with it now. That's how I programmed it last time. But as far as decoding anything, I'm not 100%. It's an older radio. I've had it since about 2010. I think it's an 09 as a software, but it's around that time. So it's about 13 years old now.
I'm not sure C4 FM is that old.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But if it will decode trunk tracker stuff like the police and EMS and stuff like that, which I haven't tried that either, but I am aware that it will decode some of that stuff. It might do C4 FM. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. So you're sounding real good tonight. I mean, everybody sounds good on my new antenna, my new cheap antenna, anyway.
Oh, did you get one up?
Yeah, I got that Tram 1481. They sell them through. It was interesting. They sell them with freight for about $125 at Home Depot. Oddly, Home Depot. And then I noticed today on one of the websites, Cheap Ham. Some of you guys may be subscribed. I get a monthly flyer from those guys on the web, and he sells one that's like $124 plus like $8 or $10 or $12 freight. And then it was, but $124 is pretty damn cheap for a 2-meter, 70 centimeter, 17.5 foot antenna.
Hold on now. You got that at your local Home Depot?
They shipped it right to me. I had it in 4 days.
Oh, man. And I had looked up some antennas before, and Walmart had a bunch. But it was all, you couldn't just go down to Walmart and pick it up. But I thought that was bizarre. But they had some really good prices on it, but they were so good I had me a little sketchy. I wasn't sure if they'd, be worth getting. But that's pretty neat, man. That is 17 feet, huh?
Yeah. And what was interesting about it was even the packaging said it had a 1481 number on it, but it didn't give a model number, brand name. So when I got it, it says it even said on the packing slip, it's an unlabeled antenna, number 1481. I open up the package, the box, it says Tram right on the damn thing.
Well, you're pegged out right here. I mean, you're all the way full scale. What's the dB gain on it? Do you know?
Yeah, it's supposedly 8.3, just like the 510, the X510.
Oh man, that's phenomenal. That's not far off from the 700.
Yeah, that's what we're gathering from the signal reports. But again, I can only gauge it by who's farthest away. That's one of the things. I mean, I was talking to Wes yesterday, the day before yesterday. He was on his HT down in Watertown, and we had a good conversation with his HT that I could hear very well. So obviously it works fine. It's one of the problems with this antenna, and it is that it's cheap. So you got to cut corners somewhere, and it's in that radome. Everybody who's had that Tram, and there's another one, OPEC, there's another name that's on it. and it's just the radome itself, that fiberglass and or plastic, whatever the heck it is. I think it's fiberglass, a coated fiberglass. It just doesn't hold up over the long haul.
Well, I have to say, it sounds good. I think I hear a little noise in the back, but it's enough that, compared to what it's been, because there's been quite a few times this summer that it's been very difficult to hear you at times, and I'm guessing it was the water that was in the antenna you were using. And I have to say, for just 120 something bucks, I mean, that's phenomenal backup. Even if that, I mean, that's pretty good. Which I'm 30, I think 4 miles from you. I don't know who the farthest guy is from. Probably the guy in Kentucky. I don't know. Does he check in?
He has, yes. I haven't heard. I don't think I've talked to him on this replacement antenna, but I could even hear him on the cheap one. Not the cheap one, but the 6.3 dBi gain that's in that tri-band I use for 220.
Oh, okay. Well, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm thinking about looking it up and getting one.
Oh yeah, I would do that, sure. It is. It's a neat antenna, particularly if you're short, because then there again lies the little financial dilemma, or the practical dilemma, I guess I'll call it, is the 510 goes for about 200 bucks. So we're talking about, 200, do my math for me, it's just what, $76 or so more as long. So that's really the dilemma. The 510 has the same spec.
Well, I didn't know that, because I have the X300 and it's 10 foot long, and it's been great. Which I taped it all up and sealed it really well before I installed it. Which I do this stuff for a living, so it's probably going to last forever. But I only paid $175 for it, which I don't know how big the 510 is, or the wattage, or the gain. I don't know any. Well, I do now since you said what that one was. But yeah, that's very impressive. I'm going to do some research on some antennas.
I was selling diamonds before, but now I'm selling tram.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, well, I make the same percentage cuts on all the sales. 0.
Every time I tell somebody how great a radio is, I'm like, man, I should be getting some kind of endorsement for this, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Anything else good for the net, Joel?
No, that's it for me, Paul. Appreciate everything you do, bud. See you on 6, KO4 OTV.
Yeah, very good. That's Joel in West Ashland City, KO4 OTV. Who else is west?
JG4 ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
Yeah, very good, Jack. You can hear Joel perfectly, can't you? He was good tonight.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, everybody else sounded good to you?
Everybody sounded great, and you're 10 over on your new antenna over here.
Oh, that's great. Now it's well, the reason it's great is because they got it. That's $124, and the X700 is $425, and it doesn't sound much better.
Hey, when the tram wears out, throw it away and get another one.
Well, I think I'll just get it on I'll buy them through Amazon and get them on that automatic. They just send them out automatically every 18 months or so.
Yeah, the subscription basis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, everything else going well?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. Thanks for doing that. I'll let the next one check in.
Very good. That's Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Golf for India, Lima, Victor. Who else is west?
KC4TQQ.
Well, you really sound good today there, Charles.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a signal report. Before you changed your antenna, you were about an S7. You're full scale now.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Now, again, remember I was using 2 different antennas. The most recent that I was using was that old kind of a tram model. And then before that, I was using the 6.3 dBi. That's that tri-band Comet. So I don't know which one we're talking about. Well, let's put it this way. After May or June, I guess that's what you're talking about, because I will only use that old 2 meter 70 centimeter the last couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, the last time I talked to you, you were about S7, and then, like I say, now you're full scale, at least 10 over.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's good to hear. You sound really great. You sounded great on the earlier nets too. So I think the antenna is making a difference here.
Yeah, it's either that or propagation, but I say your antenna is working good. And I got an update on my 991. The guy called me Thursday. He said they couldn't find anything wrong with it.
Oh, And what was your complaint with it? I don't remember.
I was comparing it against my 897 as far as being able to hear, and it was at least 2 S units less on the 991 than my 897, and the only difference was only about, I don't know, 12 inches long.
The jumper, you're good. It goes to the 991.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do was swap that jumper from one radio to the other, see if I could find the difference. But I was checking all the different bands and listening, and I'd flick between the two, and it was definitely noticeable difference in signal reception.
Huh. That's interesting. It's too bad you hadn't already checked that. I was going to say, but with uh, Ken in Smyrna had the 991 as well, and I put in. He and I both realized, because we both had done the same thing. We had put a barrel connector in line to make sure the length was appropriate for what instead of buying a full length. And we realized that putting in the barrel connector made a significant difference in the SWR. And so I took it out, bam, it went right down to whatever it was, 1.2, and it went up to like 1.4 or 5. Not that that's a super thing, but it's a significant difference for just a stinking barrel connector. He contacted the factory and they said, we don't know why it does that.
Well, they say those connectors like that will give you an impedance bump. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
Well, apparently it does, because I noticed that I don't use barrel connectors in line anymore.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting my what is it? The 2-meter 440 antenna I had before. Can't think of it right off the top of my head, but anyway, I think I'm gonna, when I do some antenna work on my 2-meter antenna, I'm gonna put a standoff and put that tri-band on it, and then put that dual bander at the very top.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, again, I'm in a good situation because I'm in the middle of the circle here, and I'm also at a good elevation to everybody. So when I put up a good antenna, it always sounds fantastic. That almost everybody will notice the difference. So it's kind of neat, but I don't know if I'm going to notice the difference from the X700 or not. 3 years ago, when I lost the first 700 in that tornado, um, I put up the backup tram, not tram, but OPEC is the brand name of it. OPEC 300, something 300. And everybody went, wow, that's as good as the 700. And I went, okay. I mean, it is pretty good, but I don't think the receives is good, though, ultimately, because with the 700, I can hear lots of things that I don't think I can hear in this one.
Yeah, Roger. Well, take you some crawl on and give you a couple of coats on that tram, and it should last forever. But anyway, that's about it for me. Y'all have a good evening. 73 KEC 14Q.
Yeah, very good, Charles. That was Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November, Quebec, in West Nashville. Really good signals tonight. And I don't think it's just me. I mean, I think the receive's good, but I think the conditions are good because we heard it as well on DMR and C4FM, etc. Who else is West? Oh, hey, what's up with you, man?
Regretting my first round back home. Take the 40 camera all the way through.
Yeah, well, I cringe every time I have to go anywhere. Not that it's so horrible in the greater Nashville area, in Nashville, Davidson, but it's worse than Mount Juliet, so I don't like going over there.
Yeah, so what modifications did you do to your antenna to make this anyway?
Well, in the earlier case, I had the X700 put up, that Diamond X700, and I had a barrel connector in it. All I had to do was take out the barrel connector, and the SWR came down, and it put in a straight shot, a home run back to the radio to the antenna.
Okay, yeah, so I did that with my 6-meter beam, but it's way up at the top. I'm regretting it. So come next spring when I take it down for maintenance.
Yeah, very good. I don't know why. Did I write down your call wrong? Give me your call again.
Kilo Bravo 5. That goes from.
Yeah, that's why it looks funny. I wrote down Kilo Delta. Anyway, so are you saying you are on Briley, or you skipped going on Briley?
I skipped it. I'm on 40. Oh, wow. I made the wrong turn, but it's all right. I'll get
Yeah, well, you're doing okay. It's just getting a little, it's a little choppy, a little bit of picket fencing, but I can still hear you.
All right, well, I'm going to drop off the little hill here, but I was going to say how.
Well, very good. Glad you could make it in there mobile. That was Larry, and he's normally in Lyles, Tennessee, but he's mobile tonight. That's Kilo Bravo 5, Echo Charlie Victor. Who else, West?
Come on, Jack.
No, Jack already checked in, didn't he? Yeah, Jack already checked in, man. You must have taken a break. Who else is Sal?
Yeah, 4 here.
Hey, you jumped out. You jumped out early on me on DMR.
Well, I got tired of holding the button in.
Yeah. Well, you need to get that. Need to get it fixed. Now, everything going okay otherwise?
Yeah, we had a big day. We went to the Banana Pudding Festival and had way too much banana pudding.
Oh, I can only imagine. I eat relatively small desserts now, and I would feel inclined to eat about a quarter of that stuff if I went down there.
Oh, that's all they give you. You know the little cups. If you go to the hospital, they give you the pills in. That's the dose of banana pudding you get.
Oh, you can't buy your own?
Well, yeah, they'll sell it to you by the gallon.
That's what I'm talking about. I'd be buying a gallon.
Well, okay, that's your thing.
Can you bring your own 5-gallon pail?
Don't know about that one, but they had people dressed up as bananas. We got to meet this banana.
Oh my gosh. I guess they had to do that. So there was a whole bunch of those people, huh?
Yeah. The only part about it is they haven't got the traffic control figured out, and they had hams down there running it. But I mean, to go 1 mile, a little 1 mile little jog into the parking lot for the event took an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh, what a terrible traffic jam down there.
Yeah, and I don't know. Everybody complained about it, and they just kind of look at you and grin.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I got to tell you a quick story. Every year they have a strawberry festival in Florida because strawberries, I mean, are a big crop to Florida, huge crop. You know, thousands of acres of strawberries. And they have a strawberry festival. It's in Plant City, Florida, just in Hillsborough County where I live. It was about 15 miles east of me. So I'd go over there. First time I was there, oh yeah, they got all kinds of other stuff too, but the strawberry festival is the key. And I went over and got a thing of strawberries, and of course it's kind of a it's run by the women's auxiliary of something, and it's it's a not-for-profit thing, and it's like $8 or something for dessert. And what do? I get they put it on a I forget what they put that on. They put it on some kind of a muffin, not a muffin, but some like a baked good, and they put the pile of strawberries on top of it, and then on top, here we are in farm country for strawberries. What do they put on top? Cool Whip.
There you go. That's American.
Yeah, but I would have much preferred whipped cream because that comes from a cow.
That's in Wisconsin. You can't have that Yankee stuff down there on the southern berries.
I don't know. There's an awful lot of dairy farms in Florida.
All right. Well, anyway,
Very good. That was Tony in Smyrna, KF4 KFQ. Who else is Mr. Banana Pudding Man for today? Who else is Sal?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. I don't think I officially checked in.
No, you didn't. You tried to check Jack in. You tried to nurture him into the group, but he was already there.
Yeah, I missed it. That was my cue.
Very good. Everything going well?
Yeah.
Oh, sounds good. Anything for the net?
No, see you on the next one.
Hey, you've got a big signal on here too. I think the antenna is working great.
Yeah, it is. I got to thinking, your diamond is about 20 dB stronger. You're about 20 over, 10 to 20 over, and you could be as much as 40 over on the diamond on a good day. But yeah, with your elevation, it sounds great.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds good. Yeah, I know it's great. I mean, it is good for the money. It's great, because you figure, look at the difference in price. This one's 1/3 the cost, but it's only going to last 1/3 the length too.
It's a good one, though. I think, but it's a good starter.
Oh, no question about it. It's great. It really is. Anyway, anything else for the net there, Greg?
No, I wish I'd started on something like this instead of that. What was that? The Diamond X50, the 6-foot one. It cost about as much as these.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. But again, I'm guessing that one that you bought from Diamond's going to last about a lot longer than the X, the one I have. Because like I said, the other one, everyone I know who's had this antenna, it didn't last more than a few seasons, maybe 5.
When you say this antenna, you talking about the Diamond or the Tram?
No, the Tram.
Yeah, it could be. I've got the Tram 1494 10 meter with that same kind of construction. We'll see.
Well, it might be a little better quality. I don't know. Anyway, what I got a kick out of too is the Trams. I always thought they were made in China. They're made in Taiwan.
Yeah, I love Tram. It's one of my. I've got a number of Tram antennas.
Yep, I've got this may be my second. I think I've got some other ones, mobile antennas. Anyway, that was anything else, Greg? I forgot to ask you that.
No, that's it. But push and rewind. We know go with Diamond if you can.
Oh yeah, I agree. Diamond or Comet, comparable antennas, but nobody's got a better gain than Diamond. Anyway, that was Greg, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is Sal?
Kilo Echo 4, Tango Yankee Juliet.
Man, I didn't get you on any of the nets here earlier on those digital nets. Jim?
Yo, you hear me?
Oh, no, I got you now. I'm just saying I didn't hear you on any of the digital nets.
I talked to Tom on D-Star after y'all closed, checked in with Larry late, but I checked in here, he got me.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, that did it. Then we had 6 on the other 2 and 7 on the D-Star.
Yeah, I chat with Tom on the Simplex, digital Simplex D-Star frequency after y'all got done for a little bit. But yeah, I was trying to get in there on time, but I was tripped up by a dog.
Oh, yeah. How's she doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She's being a dog, and we had issues on the way up to the ham shack, but that's okay. We both made it here alive.
I tell you what, dogs, it's like, even though they can be pretty smart, they're like they're always 3 years old, like a 3-year-old kid.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny, she gets along real well with the neighbor's dog, and that dog is dead set on routine. And her routine is that, between 4 and 4:30, she has to go over and play with that dog, and they run around, chase each other. I mean, I could not tire that dog out that well. It takes another dog or a herd of cattle, one or the other. But yeah, it's good that they get along and play like that, because I just don't have the time and energy to do it all myself.
Yeah, I saw a video. I'd have to send you a link to it, but it was talking about a working dog, and I don't remember the breed, but it was a very large working dog from Turkey originally. Big, thick, those double fur, and it stayed outside 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Maine, northern Maine, and man, that dog protected his duck and chicken population, and that dog loved it.
Oh, absolutely. The working breeds, if they give them a job that goes with what they're bred for, then they're the happiest clam in the bunch. You couldn't get a better, happier dog.
Yeah, it's funny how that's ingrained in their genes. It really is interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. She was today keeping the German Shepherd next door on one side of the tractor, would not let him come around the tractor. She says, I'm going to keep you between the wood pile and the tractor. He'd go one way, she had him off. He'd go the other way, she had him off. Would not let him come around.
Oh, that's funny. I never tired out either of them.
Oh, no, hell no.
That's funny. Yeah, that's when you. I've got one that she is a working dog, but I'm guessing she really never stops when she's in the yard. She's busy. But I'm guessing if I had more property, she'd be running around like a maniac.
Oh, she thinks everything within her sight is her property. It's actually kind of funny. All right, well, I won't keep up too much time. Let you get back to checking more people in. Doing a good job. And some of the people I didn't hear, but obviously they're probably a lot closer to you than I am. So, anyways, thanks for doing that. Enjoy it. K4TYJ here in Woodbury.
Very good. That's Jim in Woodbury. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Who else is Sal?
Kilo Echo 4
Hey, Larry. Yeah, so your count was actually 7 on D-Star, right?
No, I think it's just 6.
Did you add Jim in there? K4TYJ?
Yep, I had it in place.
Okay, very good. It's all right. So the total was 6.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh, very good. Anything else for the net?
You know,
Very good. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. That's Larry in Rockville. Who else is south? South or east?
KM4, YRF.
All right. Very good. Michael. Yeah, it was really nice to be on that this Fusion net again. It's just been nice to be settled back into them.
Yeah, I know. We were glad to have you back.
Yeah. Well, see now I'm the outlier. You know, the outsider for the moment.
No, that's the way I feel about these stars.
Yeah, I'm not in the inner circle anymore.
Yeah, but you're still the boss.
Oh yeah. Yeah, tell that to Maxwell.
I don't reckon I have anything else, Paul. Carry on.
Very good. That's Michael here in Mount Juliet. Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's over a couple of miles east of me. Who else is east?
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael and Lebanon.
Hey, Michael. Are we doing well?
Doing all right. I heard you talking about your new tram antenna earlier. The way you were talking about it reminded me of I had an instructor that taught me advanced electronic C school in about 1983. And he would always ask the same question in every one of his classes. Which do you think would last longer? Now, this is 1983, mind you. 10 $1,000 cars or one $10,000 car?
Yeah, that is true. It's really funny because overall you do get what you pay
for. Exactly, and that was his thing was keep $1,000 car, keep it running for a few years. It's going to last longer. 10 of them will last longer. That one $10,000 car, you come out better in the long run. Sound like what you did. So it looks like from your video that you got your 991 Alpha back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I got that back. It's working fine.
Looks good. Everything's sounding good. A little bit of noise over here, but it's probably just the way it is. But you're sounding awful good.
Yeah, very good. Everything going well with you?
Doing all right. 10 meters has been kicking it this week. So furthest one I got was Bosnia. I got it sounded like he was the next county over when I was talking to him on single sideband. He sounded great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I finally decided to open up on FT8 today, and I've got 30-something plus contacts on FT8 today, so it's been a good radio week.
Hey, I refresh my memory. Is Bosnia still connected by a hyphen with Herzegovina?
Yeah, it is. I wasn't prepared for that. When I looked it up, I was like, why is it happening? I forgot that they had done that.
Oh, yeah. No, before it was Yugoslavia, if you recall.
Yeah, and this was it was the largest city, Slovenia or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it was.
I got to think about that for a minute. I lose track of them in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but like I said, a guy right before him he had too much of a thick accent, but he was in Southwest France, and he had a decent signal, but his accent was so thick I couldn't really understand what he was saying. But the guy from Bosnia, his English was very good. His pronunciation was excellent.
Yeah, it is amazing how many excellent English speakers there are throughout Europe.
Oh, there's, like I said, when you go overseas, there's always a great deal of people that do speak English, especially when there's money involved.
Well, that's the reason, because it was, I know I've told this story, but it's been a long time. When I went to the United Nations as the head, I wasn't the head of anything. I was 14 years old. I was at the United Nations with my parents. And in that demonstration, that little tour inside the United Nations, it had like the United Nations Charter or something on the wall in real huge print. I forget exactly what was on the wall, but that's what it was, something like that. And it was in French and in English. And they made a point of saying that language of the two languages of the world that are used almost universally were French and English. Well, how wrong they were. Get the name. It's actually at this point it's French, it's Spanish, English, and Cantonese, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like I said, the world changes every few years, and like you say, you look at who the people are moving around the world, and you're right. Spanish is all over the place, along with English and Cantonese, because they get around.
But I still think, from what I understand, and again, I wouldn't be hip on this other than what I read, but that's that English is the language of business. If you'll notice, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Taiwanese, the Koreans, the Filipinos, well, they speak English, most of them anyway. But you know what I'm saying? Southeast Asia, they all will come here and speak English.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was on. I can't remember if it was 20 meters. It was in the evening time, but I think it may have been 10 meters. And there was a guy coming out of Mexico City, and his English was perfect, much better than my Spanish will ever.
Oh yeah, no, there are some very well-spoken English speakers from other countries, only because they're truly 100% bilingual, and some of them have better vocabularies than I do in English.
Oh, definitely, because this guy, like I say, even his English was, you could tell he was an educated man the way he spoke.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's kind of fun though. That's what makes it fun. I know you've had that question asked. People ask, "Oh, you say you talk to Europe?" Yeah. He goes, "Well, how do you talk to? What English? What language do they speak?" And I go, "English." Otherwise, I couldn't talk to them.
Right, that's my uncle asked me that the other day because I put it on Facebook that I talked to a guy from Bosnia, and he said, "How did you understand him?" I said, "He spoke English better than a lot of people I've ever met."
Yeah, it would be fun. You have to tell them. You say, "Well, I have this program. It costs about $10,000. It translates languages for me."
Yeah, like I say, it amazes me how people don't understand what goes on in the ham world. I guess it's such a small minority of people that do it, but it's like to them, it's like magic how we actually do it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a big mystery to a lot of people. But anyway, anything else for the net there, Mike?
No, just glad to see you get you a $1,000 antenna that you can keep over 10,000, and you got your radio back.
Oh yeah, I'm in tall cotton now, that's for sure. But I put my 897 back in storage, and it hurts my feelings because I've had that car radio about 16 years, and it's like an old friend. You know, it's like an old nice pair of shoes you get comfortable in, and that's one of them. I've had it so long. It was my first multi-band HF radio. It was really, I just feel like I don't think I'd ever sell it. Anyway, that was Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa, Michael, and Lebanon. Who else is east? Who's that? Ah, very good, Earl. You doing okay?
Yeah, yeah. I guess comparatively
Compared to what?
well, I haven't really quite figured that out yet. There's so many comparisons out there with so many different words that come to mind. You think that ain't really worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, I like a lot of things are. I'm grateful that I'm in this side of the sod. I'm taking solid food. I'm up and able to walk around with reasonably comfortable, and I still got some of my wits about me.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, people take out this paved driveway or my access road. Versus actually the ocean driveway. And paved it back a few months ago, or anything like that. They took by today and squirted it down with some cement. I guess that's a good thing. It's a big job now. I guess snows and ice, whatever like that, between now and through the winter, it might make things a little bit of stability. But there's some, I guess, shipper carrier, hot ship carrier, or something. I don't know who it before it got dry. It's beyond me what's going on. I just know that hang on for a minute, let me overthink it.
Yeah, very good. Anything else good for the net?
Well, not really. I didn't do too much thinking and playing teaching still ain't keeping up with my effort. That's just me. Glad to do everybody. Hope everybody's happy to do my straight yourself and take business. Already go with that. Keep on, keep on with that, over here, Paul. Everyone else out there in the radio and Canada. This is once again to go Echo 4,
Yeah, very good. That's Earl in Nori and Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. And you know you're overthinking too much if you start to see smoke. Who else is east?
AK5S.
Oh boy, you sound so clear. His signal was bad today, but I don't think it was him. I think conditions over there to where he is in Noreen are awful. I'm talking. I'm talking to you, Kerry.
I know it, but I can hear all just fine.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you're kind of on that side of the world comparatively, but her signal's normally pretty good. But today was a little worse, than normal. I can still hear him, but it was just a little rough.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit weak, but it's still the good signal as always.
Yeah, very good. How you got a great signal. You're doing. How you doing?
Oh, good, except for the fact that I got my calendar mixed up and I showed up for breakfast this morning.
I had this feeling somebody was going to do that. You did that once before, as I recall.
I might have.
I think you did. It doesn't matter. I would have done the same thing. I'd show up every Saturday. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just one of those, there's times when I remember it's the wrong time and forget it at the right time.
Anything good for the net tonight?
No, that's it. Just sitting here listening to everybody chat.
Very good. That was Kerry. He's in Baird's Mill. Kilo 5 Sierra. Who else is east? Hey, go ahead, Earl.
Carrie, make show Carrie for a second, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Carrie, it's Earl. I run by your house on occasion, going up and down that road. I was just curious. You'd be interested in some Rome 25 power to replace that switch you got your antenna up on, or what do you think? Or maybe even more than one antenna on it.
I'd have to do some think back because it takes a whole lot of concrete to anchor something like that around here.
Well, I guess that depends on how tall you want to go with it. Well, think about it. So that's the reason why I threw it out there and whatnot like it. Because what I think it might not be in the greatest shape or whatever. It may take a little bit of TLC because it's got wild blackberry bushes growing up through. I don't have an APAC piece, but I don't know. I've got pieces laying back here in the backyard. I mean, you just want to go just as high as, your sticking foot hole you got up there now. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. Pay you for it or get you to. That's it.
Now think about it, Earl. How tall is what you got? That's to be the question. I'm at 37 feet right now.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how many sections I got out there, but like I say, it's in the self-proclaimed, what do you call that, my security system in the backyard. So if they get close enough to it, they're going to fall over and get stuck with stickers and briars. So I may have one or two pieces taller than that. Okay, but you don't want to go. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Roger that, and I appreciate that. I'll give it some thought because I may have to do some changes around here in the next year or so, anyhow, on the way it's all mounted. But we'll catch back up and talk about it later.
Okay, just try that. I'll put it out there to you. You're close by, and hey, you're just a hot skip jump from one to the other, and whichever. I'm not really sure what kind of shape it's in, so it's been out there. I want to say it like what it was and what it is two different things of the sections. But they're pretty good shape when I stuck them out there. But taking forward easy back to that.
Very good. That was Earl and KK. I'm sorry, KD4DZ and KK5S. Scary, having a chat about a tower. Who else is? You can always just strap it to it. A tall tree trunk. That'll do it. No concrete needed. Who else is this? He's
KG4CXE, Kristen Royal Hill.
you doing? Hey, just did I send it out to the group about that drone the Navy started using in research?
I don't know. I think no, not at least on the most recent email.
Yeah, I thought I sent that out to everybody. Maybe not. I think I did though. It's a radio controlled drone, electric, of course. It has 4 dual props in each corner. I think it was 4 dual props. 150-pound torpedo.
Okay, yeah, you did 2 days ago. I see it now. Wow, that's crazy. I remember seeing some helicopters mounted shotguns too, and it was funny to see that the helicopter react to that when it has the gyro stabilization, and when that shotgun would go off, it would try to correct itself. But anyways, they were playing around with like carrying cameras, so this is like serious, big boy drone carrying torpedoes.
Well, look up the other one. It's a Gyrodyne remote controlled helicopter. It is a drone, but it had a turboprop engine on this device because it was built to carry either 2 torpedoes, about 800 pounds, or 1 single nuclear depth charge, which weighed about 400 pounds. So, so you can imagine. It was radio controlled though, and they were using that from about 1959 through the middle 60s on a bunch of Navy ships because they controlled them right off of. Our ship had one, but it was removed because we had a different system. We had a rocket launch system that worked pretty good for launching those same torpedoes and the torpedo and the rocket launched nuclear weapons. But the problem they had with the gyrocopter, that Gyrodyne, I think that's what it was called, Gyrodyne. It would, if it had 2 torpedoes on it, if it released 1 torpedo, it sometimes couldn't recover because the other one made it tip over too far to one side and it flipped over.
Yes, I see what you're talking about here. It is ran by a turboprop engine. It does appear to be, and it's counter-rotating blade. So you've got it doesn't have much of a tail. Like most helicopters would have a tail rotor to keep that torque from the main blade hold against it, if you will. So these guys rotate in 2 opposite directions, and so yeah, if you don't speed one of them up, to count kind of lose its ability to control the torque, if you will. The balance is gone. But he went to that. Speaking of Navy related UAVs, if you will, there was a number of really cool. We went to Pensacola, the Naval Air Station there, and they have that aviation museum, and got to see some really awesome Corsairs and a bunch of other planes as well. But they had a number of drones there. It was interesting because they were pretty large, but I'd say definitely were remote control. And I don't know that they're used anymore, but a little bit more modern than the Gyrodyne that's on there.
Well, they even had some, if I remember correctly, they even had some remote control large frame aircraft out there that they were using for test purposes.
Yeah, I can imagine. We've seen one helicopter, and of course they have larger, drones that look like biplanes.
No, it's amazing because even those drones they have now, it boggles the mind. If you would have told me they were operating drones from the United States over the Middle East, I'd say, yeah, nice try.
Yeah, that's a plane. That's basically a remote control plane. It's a wild plane, though.
Yeah, it's deadly too, boy. Anyway, anything else good for the net? They're talking about great radio communications via satellite.
Yeah, it is, and great materials, to make something like that possible. Really high-end equipment, lots of money invested. But yeah, I mean, it's like, a toy times a billion. It's so much more than that, right? But yeah, very interesting. That's all I've got, Paul.
Yeah, well, I was watching, this is a point of interest today. I saw this little piece on TikTok or something, not TikTok, I don't use TikTok, Instagram, and it showed a picture of this young woman, 23 years old, from India. She was in a light plane. I didn't know what kind of plane it was. I'd never seen it before. She flew from India with a partner and flew all across Europe, and then she transited alone from like England to up to Scotland, and then maybe she went to Scotland, then she went to Iceland, then she went to Greenland, then she went to Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, and then she went flew the entire width of Canada over to Alaska, and then hopped over to Russia. And I don't know where she went after that. And it was this little plane made in Italy and Serbia. It's called it. You can look up it's easy to find, SINUS. I thought it was a funny name, Sinus. Yeah, Sinus 912, and it's a little 80 or 100 horsepower motor. It's a very light plane. It's also very expensive. I looked up a used one. It was only $75,000 for a 15-year-old plane.
Well, I love the when you say only 75. Well, planes hold their value. It's one of those things. And they mostly are well maintained because it's just whiteboarding and stuff like that. But annuals and stuff. But yeah, it's I'm interested in it. I'll definitely check it out. I'm very very much into aviation and little things because you wouldn't think the range would be great on it, but I guess if you planned it well, you'd have a place to stop for fuel. When you needed it.
I think it was 1,200 miles or 1,500 miles, somewhere in that range of. But it's a limited capacity because this little plane was this 2-seater. It was either 1 or 2-seat depending upon the model, but the 2-seater only carried the maximum load in the plane aside from the fuel. And the plane was like I got to think about this for a second. I think it was 400 pounds, 390 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a light plane. I'm curious, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's just it was fun to look at it, and this young woman broke several records by making this transit alone from Europe over to the United States.
Man, it's inspiring, really.
Well, somebody financed that plane because most 23-year-olds couldn't afford it. Because I think the plane went for a couple $100,000. Yeah.
Oh, I imagine. So it sounds like she might have a YouTube channel.
I don't know. Anyway, anything else for the net, Chris?
That's all I've got.
Yeah, that's right. I can't imagine, really. I can't imagine having that kind of money myself. Anyway, that was Chris. Kilo Golf Ford Charlie X-Ray Echo. He's over in Rural Hill, or down in Rural Hill. Who else is east or anywhere? East or anywhere?
Kilo for Tango November Romeo.
How are you tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Had a fun day playing radio at the park. Soldered a bunch of stuff together to try to build a QRP radio. It's a 5-watt, what is it? The SDX radio, True DX. I wound like 13 toroids and soldered them all together tonight. I think I may have cancer because I breathed all the solder, but we do what we do.
Oh man, if that were true, I'd be dead 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I've almost got it together. I only have the speaker and the rotary dial to solder, and it'll be together. I don't know if it'll work, but it'll be together.
Yeah, there's a number of those out there, but some of them are even like cricket power, man. They're like an eighth of a watt or something. I forget how much they are.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I went to Bledsoe today. I built the quarter wave 2-meter antenna yesterday. Took it out. Hit Short Mountain very well. 2 repeaters in Brentwood, so that seemed to work out pretty well.
Hey, would you hang it from a tree or what?
Yeah, it was a little like jungle antenna, but I only used 2 ground plane wires instead of the 3 that the military manual says.
Hey, which reminds me, I don't know if I have it up on the site. I had the U.S. Marines official field antenna guide in, for radio antennas and radio operation in the field. I'm not sure I have it up on this site because I had it up on another site. I'll have to put that up there.
Yeah, it probably had you built like a pyramid ground plane, and what's his name? Jason out of Murfreesboro, ACK. He has one that only has 2 ground plane wires, and that's what I simulated after watching this video. And I mean, it did good. I mean, I talked to a guy on 910, and he said I was full quieting.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, again, the 9.1 machine has certainly got a lot of elevation on everybody.
Yeah, not a good test for a system, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, it's not fair. But I did talk to 210 and 670, which I think are in Brentwood. So,
well, again, even a cheap portable antenna, which I have a couple myself that are handmade, and you know, under the right conditions that you make, you use the antenna that works best for whatever conditions you're working in. And I mean, a couple of them I have, you get them high enough up in the tree, you can talk to anybody. Well, within reason, you know, whom you need to talk to.
yeah, I mean, I was at Bloodstone Park. I mean, I was under a bunch of tree cover. I mean, this was an area thing. I mean, really, that's where it started. It was just, if something happens, what do I have that I can make that will get me the most contacts? And it worked out.
Oh yeah, very good. No, I'm glad it's always fun. It's always something to do though in ham radio. If you're so inclined, you can chase down a lot of rabbit trails in ham radio.
Well, I had the most fun hanging out with guys from the club. I mean, that was the most fun. But this was just something I did. I mean, my part probably only took me about half an hour, but we spent about 4 hours out there playing, which was really cool. That's what I love about ham radio.
Well, that's as I've said here many times, is that ham radio, it's enjoyable. Let's put it this way: if you don't like communicating with other people, then this isn't the hobby for you. But at the same time, a lot of guys in ham radio, I don't want to say half, but a lot of the fun is that relationship you have with other hams who have similar interests.
Yeah, I've met a lot of great people in the last year that I have a lot of fun hanging out with. And it's been really good. But I'll let you get back to it and catch some more contacts. And K4TNR, I'll talk to you next time, hopefully on Wednesday night.
Yeah, very good. That was Kevin. He's in Bethpage, Kilo 4 Tango November Romeo. Another one on that POTA, Parks on the Air. He was doing that this weekend. Who else is anywhere, anyplace? No more. For last chance, I think. Last chance. Please come now. They don't have any lurkers, lollygaggers, or sandbaggers. Most of those are kind of slow coming back to me anyway. Anybody out there? All right, very good. I'll leave out the other ones if you're not in those three categories. We had 19 tonight. We had 25 last net. We're moving right over to 144, 240, unless somebody complains. Very good. That's where we're moving. 144, 240, upper side, man. We'll see you there. And after that, we're immediately going to the 50.135. So we'll see you then. K4P, Debbie. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net here on, that's funny. It looks like a head. No, the SWR seems fine, I guess. Looking for check-ins from the north. Please come in.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo, Kilo.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo, Kilo. Great signal. Who else is north? KD4VUW. That's Carlin up in Angeltown. Who else is north? Over the west. Over west.
KG4ILV.
KG4ILV. I think I'm the one off frequency. Everybody else sounds kind of bad, although Frank sounded right on frequency to me, but everybody else doesn't.
I was trying to tune it in so you sounded right to me.
Oh, that's right. I can still hear you guys. Everybody else sounds, besides Frank, sounds a little inebriated. Anyway, that was Jack. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west? Yeah, very good. We got Greg in there. Sounds closer anyway. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west? Or south? KF4 KFQ. You sound good tonight there on 2 meters upper sideband there. Tony, that was KF4 KFQ. Tony in Smyrna. Who else south? South or east?
KK5F.
Okay, Kilo 5 Sierra. That's Carrie and Baird's Mill. You sound good. Who else is west? I mean east.
KG4CXE.
KG4CXE. That's Chris in Baird's. Excuse me, in Rural Hill. Who else is east?
KM4. Wow.
Very good. We got Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee, Romeo Foxtrot. Anybody else west, east, or anywhere? All right, very good. We got Earl in there. Decent signal. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Anybody else east or anywhere? Anybody, any place, anywhere, please come now, including lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers. Say that again, Earl. Oh yeah, I do too. Very good. That was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Anybody else before we move over to 6 meters? All righty, nothing heard. We had 10 people on 2 meters upper sideband. It's a good number. Looking, and we're going to move right over to 6 meters, 50.135. We'll see you then. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Looking for check-ins on 6 meters here from the north. Please come down. All right, we got Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo. Who else is north? Anybody north? North or west? Very good. We got Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson. Who else is west? Oh, you got a big signal tonight there, Greg. Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Very good, very big signal. Good audio. Who else is west? All right, we got Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. That's Charles in West Nashville. Who else is west?
Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor.
Man, you're right on the money. Got a good audio and signal tonight there, Joel.
Good deal, good deal. Yeah, I almost forgot, man. I ran in the house for a minute and I turned on YouTube real quick and I was like, oh man, they're on 6, but I ran out here, so that's good. Everybody's just in time.
Well, if I run out of the house, I forget where I live.
Roger that.
Anyway, that's Joel up in West Ashland City. Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor. Who else is west? West or south? Was there somebody in there I just heard? Okay, at west or south? Or east?
KM4 YRF.
Very good. We got Michael, KM4 YRF. You're Mount Juliet. Anybody else east? Got Carrie there, Kilo. That's one. That's only 2 kilos. Kilo 5 Sierra. They're in Baird's Mill. That's Carrie. Who else is east?
KG4CXE.
KG4CXE. That's Chris over there in Rural Hill. Was there somebody else in the background I couldn't hear? Does anybody copy that?
Earl.
Oh, very good. I thought I heard something. Okay, Earl, say again. No, I'm not copying Earl at all if he's talking. Okay, yeah, I can't hear him at all. All right, very good. Well, we had 10 in there on 6 meters, so we're doing fine. And anything else on 6 meters? Please come now. Anybody, any place? Nothing heard. So I appreciate all the check-ins. Like I said, we had 10 on 2 meters. I mean, 10 on 2 meters upper sideband, 10 on 6 meters, and 19 on 2 meters FM. Moving over to 223.415. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube stream since there's nothing to look at there. So we'll catch you later. By the way, Michael, or anybody else who gives a damn, I noticed that it tunes up very well on 6 meters. Same antenna, same feed line on the 991 tunes fine. When I tried to do it on the LDG tuner that's on my 897, it never wants to hold the tune. I keep having to retune it like every second time I talk. So it's a dream not having to touch it. Anyway, we'll catch you guys on the next net, hopefully, and catch you on Sunday night with Michael's net on 28.415 at 7:30 p.m. We'll see you then. K4PW. And we're closing. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, you're 991.